Selamat datang buat teman-teman sekalian, buat mas-mas dan mbak-mbaknya pada kesempatan webinar hari ini. Saya dengan Dian, saya dari IBEC. Saya akan menjadi moderator selama acara ini berlangsung. Pada hari ini kita akan mendapatkan sharing dari salah satu senior lecturer di University of Sussex, yaitu Dr. Anke Swite. Beliau adalah senior lecturer di Anthropology and International Development, University of Sussex. Nanti Dr. Anke akan memberikan presentasi atau share mengenai guidance untuk membuat disertasi baik untuk S1, S2 maupun S3. Saat ini Dr. Anke kebetulan masih sedang di kelas, sedang ada pelajaran, sharing juga. Jadi untuk yang pertama, acara hari ini akan dimulai dengan presentasi atau sharing dari Miss Decai Teh. Beliau adalah Chief Representative of Studygroup. Beliau akan memberikan informasi mengenai how to get into Sussex from SMA, S1, S2 dari Indonesia ke University of Sussex. Kemudian setelah Miss Decai, pembicaraan atau sharing akan dilanjutkan oleh Mr. Kalchong. Beliau adalah International Officer untuk Southeast Asia, termasuk Indonesia. Jadi, Mr. Kalchong adalah salah satu important person, orang yang penting yang akan kalian temui jika seandainya kita sudah bisa offline ya. Kita akan bisa bertemu dengan Mr. Kalchong di pameran secara langsung. Nah, Mr. Kalchong yang akan memberikan informasi mengenai beasiswa yang tersedia di University of Sussex. Jadi, buat teman-teman yang ingin tahu apa aja sih scholarship yang ada di Sussex dan caranya bagaimana, Mr. Kalchong is the best man untuk kita tanya. Baru kemudian nanti Dr. Anke akan memberikan penjelasan. Kemungkinan besar beliau akan sudah ada di tepat di pukul 5. Baik, untuk tidak mengurangi waktu kembali, saya persilahkan kepada Miss Decai untuk memulai sharing sesinya mengenai how to get into Sussex. Ya, silakan Miss. Oh, maaf sebelumnya kepada teman-teman mohon kerjasamanya untuk mematikan video atau voice-nya atau suaranya karena seperti biasa kita tahu Zoom ini sedang booming sekali. Jadi untuk memperlancar koneksi internet dan koneksi Zoom-nya sebaiknya kita mute dulu semua dan video bisa di-off.
With Brighton. So University of Sussex is located in Brighton City, and it's not far from London, and it is a very beautiful city, and we do have quite a lot of Indonesian students who are studying in University of Sussex. Okay. Probably later Carl will talk more about the university and also the city. Okay. So this is the subject rankings based on QS ranking, and you can see here the University of Sussex is ranked #1 in the world for development studies. So even Harvard is lower ranked compared to University of Sussex for development studies subject. Okay, so this is a bit of the video of the university. So now we are going to talk about the International Study Center. So the program, one of the program in the ISC, we have foundation year, international foundation year. So for those of you, you might be wondering, why do I need a foundation year? So foundation will help international students to adapt to UK education system. So it will help you later on to be more successful in your study in the university. Okay, so however, some of you who have international curriculum in your schools in Indonesia, you don't really need foundation yet. You can actually go directly to first year in the university. However, for those of you who missed the entry requirement going to directly to the university, you can actually start from foundation, or later on we have international year one. I will talk about international year one further. Okay, so now for foundation year, it can improve student experience. Of course, all of you, like as international students, you will have a same start as the other students. So you don't have to be like, it will build your confidence to study in the UK if you start with foundation first. Okay, and also it will give you flexibility and choice in choosing the courses and pathways. And we have flexible study modules also, and we have nearly 100 undergraduate degrees, including BA, Media and Communication, International Relations, and so on. So if you are thinking of studying in the UK, but you are confused, like you are still in year 10 or year 11, so this foundation year might be able to help you in deciding your study path. Okay, so the courses route for foundation year, you can actually choose business, media, and social sciences. This is the route, and it will direct you to the progression for the whole lot other majors in the university. Okay. Other than business, media, and social sciences, we also have science and engineering route, like courses in ISE. So you can actually study science and engineering also. Okay, so these are the 4 pathways option. Okay, like this is only the course pathway, and after that, progressing to the first year university, you can choose the majors. Okay, and we have 2 intakes in a year, which is September and January. For Indonesian students, we suggest them to start in September intake, because September intake normally will be the biggest intake in the year, and you will have full experience if as a student in ISC or in the university. So September will be a good time for Indonesian students, because most of you will finish in June, and yeah, it will give you about 2 or 3 months to prepare the application and everything, and be ready for a September intake. Okay, but if you miss the September intake, of course you can join us in January intake. Yeah? Then we have International Year 1 program. So what is International Year 1? international year 1 is equivalent to first year in the university. So the subjects and everything will be the same. However, the difference is for international year 1, you will be with other international students in a smaller class, okay? Smaller classes. The class size is about 15 to 25 students. So it will give you the opportunities or the chances to be more engaged with the lecturers, okay, with your teachers. And normally, like the international students, because you are not used to a UK education system, sometimes you will need time to adjust yourself to the education system. Like you, for Indonesian students, you are not used to assignments or exams in English. So in international year 1, you will be able to study those skills. You will get those skills, and then you will get used to the system, and then progressing to second year, you will be able to, this will enable you to study like successfully, okay? And for international year 1, after you finish international year 1, you can go directly to second year. So actually, you will still study only 3 years after your year 12, after your SMR 3, okay? And so it will not add your study time, okay? Okay. And then after international year 1, you can just progress to second year. And in the second year, you can choose the subjects from these 6 routes, okay? It's business and management, computing, engineering, film and media, finance and accounting, international relations, and international development. If you are interested in the development studies, because of the high rank, you can also study from foundation or international year 1. Okay. For international year 1, these are the subject routes. We have 6 subject routes, as I've mentioned before. And also the intake will be in September and January as well. So for Indonesian students, like I've mentioned, it will be a good time for you to join international year 1 in September intake. Okay, so it still will give you the time to prepare your study and everything, your visa application, everything. You will still have time to prepare that before the September intake. Okay. So this is the video of our student. Okay, she is studying international relations.
I'm from China, and my name is Yolanda, and I studied my international year 1 in ISC last year, and I'm majoring in international development now. I think the experience of ISC is unique. It's because you could meet a lot of different nationalities there, and which provides you with understanding of diversity and multiculturalism. I think it's a wonderful chance to make new friends and who come from different countries. I think being an international student here, be confident and don't be shy. Don't worry about your English speaking, and try to explore new area and new people here. I'm from China.
Decha, you are muted.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize. So I was on mute. So yeah, I was saying, do not worry. Everybody has the same starting point as an international student. Okay, so you are far from home and family, but then you can meet new friends. You introduced to the new environment and everything. So do not worry. Everybody have the same experience. Okay. Okay. So now I'm going to pre-master program. So for those of you who's looking for a master degree, but you are you have the not the same background as your bachelor degree, you can actually study pre-master before your master degree. Okay, pre-master is 2 terms or 3 terms, like 3 months or 6 months program. Okay, so because master degree is only 1 year in the UK, so you have to add 3 months or 6 months. Okay, for if you have a different background from the master degree that you want to study. And we encourage D3, Day 3 graduates also. So if you have finished 3 years of your bachelor degree, equivalent to bachelor degree, you can actually study with us, starting with pre-master program. Okay. The pre-master program, PMP, we call it PMP. We have business, media, and social sciences also. So if you are thinking of studying different major from your undergraduate degree, so this will be a chance for you. Okay. Also, we have science and engineering. Also, you can choose from. Yeah. Yeah. So the intake will be January and September as well. The length of the program is 1 or 2 semester. Okay. So it will add about 6 months to your master degree. So, and the entry requirement for a foundation, if you are students from IGCSE, SM2 or year 11 or IB certificate, which is year 11 IB, you can actually apply for this course for foundation. You can join us for foundation. The foundation program is 9 months only. Okay, so if you start in September, you will finish in June, and then you will be able to progress to the university in the next September. Okay, we will need UKVI IELTS with the score of 5.0. But at the moment, because of COVID, we welcome you. We can welcome you with Duolingo as well. Okay, so Duolingo is easier. It's an online English test, and you can do it from home. So it is more convenient for you. Okay, and students need to turn 17 before they can join our foundation program. Okay, for those of you who have IGCSE, but you are still under 17, we can't really take you for foundation. Okay. And then for the entry requirements for international year 1, also you need to be 17 plus for the program. and we need IELTS score of 5.5, and also we will need UKVI IELTS for this program. But for now, for online start, we can accept Duolingo as well. Okay, and for the academic qualifications for International Year 1, if you have finished SMR 3 or Year 12, you can actually apply for this program. Okay, so for International Year 1, I need to remind you again, International Year 1 is equivalent to first year. So after International Year 1, after you finish the program, you can progress directly to second year. Okay, and then for PMP, the age requirement is 20 plus, 20 years old plus. Okay. And then the IELTS requirement, we will still need UKVI IELTS of 5.5, okay, for the 2-semester program. And for the 1-semester program, we will need 6.0. And like I've mentioned before, we welcome D3 graduates for PMP, okay? So you don't need to have the top-up degree. You can just apply for pre-master program. Okay. And the progression support, we have 96% student progressing to University of Sussex in 2019. So 96% is very high. If you are, I don't say if you are a good student, but if you're a student and you don't cut classes, you do all your assignments, you come to class, you will be able to progress. Okay, I don't, we always have like almost 100% progression from students from Indonesia. So it's a good thing for, yeah, it's a good thing for Indonesian students to know, because we do get good students from Indonesia every year. Okay, and this is the student support, Mentisk, Buddy Scheme, Language Cafe. This all you can gain while you're studying in the Sussex ISC. Okay. And this is one of our alumni who changed his study while he's in University of Sussex. Okay, let me play this for you.
My journey in tertiary education was very different. The only institution really at the time that was going to take me was the study center. It was not because I lacked English skills or I was weak in my education. It was more to do with my age. I was ready and set to go to Colombia and study pediatrics. I had been taking organic chemistry classes, and I was doing physics on the side, and I was doing all these things on the side on top of my regular course material, volunteering at any hospital, any GP practice, anywhere I could at any point. And I was so focused. And then as time moved on, I started developing this feeling that I didn't want to work in the front line. I wanted to work in biotech, and more to do with creating novel technologies and novel remedies and medication and treatments for people. And that's where my passion really took me. You need to remember as a student, you don't go to university just to learn material. You go there to study skills. You go there to become a better person in terms of how you process information. Developing your analytical mind. You're not always going to end up where you think you are. As a Sussex student, I would suggest that you take it hands-on and roll with the punches.
Okay, so that's the end of my presentation. If you have any question, I will still be here until end of the session. So yeah, you can just ask. Okay, thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, Miss Decai. Jadi teman-teman, buat yang saat ini sedang sekolah di SMA atau akan selesai SMA, University of Sussex Studygroup bisa menjembatani kita untuk masuk ke University of Sussex. Dan seperti yang Miss Decai tadi info, Development Studies University of Sussex number 1, ranking 1 di dunia, bahkan di atas. Kemudian di dalam program yang study group itu Studygroup Sussex ada 3 area, yaitu Foundation Year, kemudian International Year 1, dan kemudian yang terakhir adalah Pre-Master Program. Jadi buat kalian atau buat kita teman-teman yang akan lulus dari SMA kelas 12, kita bisa pilih antara Foundation atau International Year 1. Kemudian buat teman-teman yang dari D3 bisa masuk ke University of Sussex mulai dari program pre-masternya. Nah, selanjutnya sharing sesi ini akan dilanjutkan oleh Mr. Kaltong. Beliau adalah International Officer Southeast Asia, University of Sussex. Beliau yang akan menjelaskan lebih jauh mengenai entry requirement serta scholarship for Indonesian. Jadi saat yang ditunggu-tunggu nih mengenai scholarship ya, mudah-mudahan kita semua bisa mendapatkan yang terbaik. Please, Mr. Kaltong, start your share about university.
Thank you, Dian, and all IBEC colleagues, and also Ms. Decai from Studygroup for the presentation. I'm Cal, the International Officer for Southeast Asia based in Malaysia office. Okay, I cover Indonesia as well, as mentioned by Dian in the introductions. Okay, I'm going to share my screen now. Can all of you see my screen? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just going to briefly talk about the university location, about the university, what are the entry requirements for the bachelor's degree, master's, PhD, English language requirement for our courses, and also scholarships, as mentioned by Dian or Budian previously. Okay. So I'm just going to start off the location of the university. University of Sussex is located in Brighton, as you can see on the share screen. Okay, we are not far away from London. It's just about 1 hour by train from Brighton or to London, or London to Brighton. Okay, we have 2 major international airports that is very close to Brighton, which is the London Heathrow, 1.5 hours by train to Brighton. And the nearest one would be London Gatwick, which is about 30 minutes by train to Brighton. As you can see, the location of the city center of Brighton is actually located alongside the coastline. So you would be expecting a beach in the city center. Okay. So here are the location of the university to the city center of Brighton. Okay, we are not located right in the center of city center, so it's a bit outskirts. Okay, but it's not very far from the city center. As you can see on the orange circle, this is where the university campus is located. Okay, we are in Farmer area. Okay, so from the university to the city center of Brighton, if you wish to take the train, it's only 9 minutes away using train. And if you wish to take the bus, it's about 25 to 30 minutes by bus to the city center. Okay, there's a train station and a bus station right in front of the campus. Okay, which you can see the small orange 2 side arrows showing that is the train station, which is the Farmer train station. Okay. As I mentioned earlier, we are just about 30 minutes away from London Gatwick Airport, and also about 1 hour by train to central of London. Okay, major airlines serve London Gatwick if you wish to travel from Soekarno-Hatta Jakarta Airport. Okay, namely Emirates Airline, Qatar Airways, and Turkish Airlines. So these few airlines will land in their respective airport countries before they make their way to London Gatwick Airport. So if you wish to land in Gatwick, you can consider that 3 airlines. All other major airlines will usually land in London Heathrow, like for example, Malaysia Airlines, Singapore Airlines, British Airways, Thai Airways, EVA Air. Those will land in London Heathrow, and you will need to arrange or take the transportation from the Heathrow Airport to the accommodation in the university's surrounding area. Let's talk about the city center. As I mentioned, the picture on the left top corner, you can see there's a beach. So this is the city center. We have the beach called the Brighton Beach. Okay. Usually during busy time, during the summertime, you will be able to see people, visiting the beach. Even from the London people, they actually will travel to Brighton Beach over the weekend because it's so near to London and the place that they live. To enjoy the good weather, the good food, and also the good scenery of the beach area. As you can see, there's a lot of tables and chairs, people sitting by to enjoy catching up with friends, coffee, teas, and also food that's available alongside the beach area. There's good cafes and restaurants available alongside the beach. People also tend to sunbathing, picnicking by the beach area. Just for your information, all this photo is actually taken pre-COVID time. As you can see, there's a lot of people on the streets and on the beach area. At the moment, in the UK, like what we are practicing all over the world, we are actually still practicing social distancing, whereby people will still need to be apart from each other in the public space, about 1 or 2 meters away apart. Okay, so you won't be able to find such crowded places, people in these places at the moment in the UK and also in Brighton. Okay, the picture in the middle is actually one of the famous street, which is in North Lane. Okay, the North Lane is actually a popular street whereby the City Council of Brighton only allows or encourage the local businesses to set up their local cafeterias, restaurants, and shops in these particular lanes. Okay, so if you want to get genuine souvenirs, genuine food, and also drinks from Brighton, you might visit this particular lane. You won't be able to find international franchise brand like Starbucks, KFC, McDonald's in this particular lane. However, outside of this lane, in other streets in Brighton, you will be able to find the international brands that you wish to visit. Yeah. The pictures on the right-hand bottom corner is actually showing 2 deck chairs by the beach side. Okay, we are actually a pebble smooth beach, so it's not a sandy beach. So I believe that all of you have been to a beach in once of your lifetime before, and you might be frustrated when you visit the beach because you might get sand into your shoes, into your sandals, into your slippers and flip-flops and etc. Rest assured, when you visit Brighton Beach, you won't get that problem because we don't have a sandy beach. It's actually a smooth pebble beach in Brighton. Okay, so that's for your information. Okay, so this is the zoom in from top view to the campus area. Okay, the university, as you can see, we are the campus university, and it's surrounded by greeneries, trees, and also grasses around the campus area. Okay. This is because we are the only UK university that is located in a national reserve park, which is called the Southdown National Reserve Park in Brighton. Okay, so you can see there's a lot of trees surrounding the campus area. We also have a football stadium that's actually quite close to the campus, which is just across the street to the campus and accommodation area. Okay, so this football stadium actually hosts the Brighton and Hove Albion Football Team Club. Okay, so during match day, it can be very busy and happening around the campus area. Okay, the university is divided into 2 parts, I can say, which is the on-campus accommodation part, which is to your right-hand side of the area. We also have the academic and also the functioning buildings, like for example, lectures hall, computer labs, your cafeterias, library, bank, dentists, doctors, pharmacies are all located, okay, in this area. So all your academic stuff like your lectures, your tutorials, seminars, all will be happening in this area, okay. As I mentioned, we are divided into two parts. The highlighted in orange color is actually the university building, which is the academic and also the teaching blocks. And the green color or the turquoise one is actually the on-campus accommodation. We offer two types of accommodation at the university, which is the on-campus accommodation and also off-campus accommodation in the city center of Brighton. For those of you who actually wish to have a much more busier lifestyles or busier, more happening surrounding, we will recommend you to stay in off-campus accommodation in city center. For those who prefer tranquility, prefer a peaceful place to study and stay, it will be on-campus accommodation because we are actually right in the middle of a National Reserve Park. Okay, I'm just going to briefly show you a quick video of the. Hold on, yeah. A quick video of the campus from the top view. So that's actually the drone view of the campus and also the on-campus accommodation that some of you might want to consider to stay for on-campus accommodation. Okay. Okay, moving on to the next slide. Okay, within the campus area, we also encourage students to mingle around, to mix around when they actually study on campus. It's just not about studying and also in your study bedroom. Okay, you will need to go out to mingle around, make some friends around the world. Yeah. So around the campus area, there's a lot of activities that we are actually having mostly on a weekly basis. Okay. For example, the weekly farmers market on every Wednesday on the week. Okay. So you will be able to get some local fresh ingredients, food, and also ingredients that you want to purchase on the local market. Okay, we also have 10 cafes and restaurants scattered around the campus building that serve snacks, hot food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for those who are actually staying on campus itself, or for students who are actually attending their classes in between the spaces. They want to have some break and something to eat. Yeah, so we have that around the campus area. We also have gyms and also sports area for students to get active and to sweat out when they're actually doing sports. Okay, so this is available for all the staff and students at the university. Some statistics and also rankings about the university. We are actually a university that can accommodate up to about 18,000 students at whole. Okay, 38% of our students are international students. As mentioned earlier by Dechai, we are ranked number 1 or first in the world for development studies on the QS World Ranking. Okay, top 40 or 40 in the UK on the Complete University Guide, top 10 in the UK for business and economics on the subject of ranking on Times Higher Education 2021. 160 in the world on the Times Higher Education ranking 2021, and also top 50 in Europe for the QS World ranking for our MBA courses for 2021. So here are some of these statistics about the university's ranking, and also information about the students' population and international students at the university. Currently at the university, we have approximately about 48 to 60 Indonesian students studying at the university, scattered around for the foundation, international year 1, bachelor's degree, master's and PhD studies. Okay. We offer a wide range of programs ranging from business, management, economics, education, international development, development studies, history, arts, philosophy, law, criminology, MBA, politics, international relations, biology, biochemistry, chemistry, mathematics, physics, astrophysics, astronomy, media and communication, journalism, music, sonic music, psychology, and also medicine at the university. We are actually offering S1 bachelor's degree, S2 master's, and S3 for PhD. Most of our intake, or I can say majority of our intake, is actually September intake, and the courses for all of them will usually last for 1 year. As I mentioned earlier, we have accommodation. These are the types of on-campus accommodation that we offer for our international students. Okay, so these are the price per week. Okay, so in 1 year, you would expect to have approximately about 13 to 14,000 pounds sterling in total for your living expenses, accommodation, and also your food and also allowance. Yeah. And I'm going to move on to the entry requirements for this. Okay, for bachelor's degree entry requirements, we welcome students from international qualifications such as A-levels, IB diploma, international foundation year, international year 1 to join our programs. Okay, so the grades for the individual qualification is actually ranging depending on the courses that you're applying to. Certain courses might have a different entry requirement. Certain courses will have a different requirements as well. Okay, so at the moment, the range will be A-levels, 3 A's to up to 3 B's. That's the minimum that we can accept. For IB diploma, it's about 30 to 32 points, IB diploma for the bachelor's degree. And also for master's degree, okay, we actually will look into a bachelor's degree honors classification or equivalent for the master's degree, which is S2. If you actually graduated from an Indonesian university qualification from grade A band PT accreditation, then we will ask for usually about GPA or GPA of 2.8 out of 4 from your bachelor's degree S2. And if it's a B accreditation band PT, then will be about GPA about 3 out of 4, which is a bit higher, okay, for master's degree entry requirement. As for PhD, it's actually not so straightforward. It's a lot of research you will need to do. First, you will need to choose a PhD before you apply, okay. You will need to check on the entry requirement. The entry requirement, usually we will ask for students to have a bachelor's degree, a good bachelor's degree and a master's degree qualifications. Okay, that's the entry requirements for the PhD. You will need to choose a research topic or a project that you will want to do a research on. Okay, go to the website or the Sussex University website of the course to find a supervisor. Okay, we have a list of supervisors available on all our courses online with their specialty and also the research project they are currently working on. You can contact them via email to submit your research proposal. You need to prepare a research proposal. Have a chat with the supervisor to see he or she whether they can able to supervise you on your research proposed title, okay, for your PhD. If the supervisor agrees to take you in as one of their students, then you can start apply to Sussex for the PhD. Okay, for your information, PhD application usually will last up to about 3 months in whole to get an offer letter, LOA. Okay, this is because it might involve in a documents check-in, in interview via phone or maybe via Zoom or Skype interview, and then they need to sort out your check-ins before they can issue you the offer letter. So it will take up to about 3 months time to issue you a LOA for PhD application. For bachelor's degree and master's, as long as you meet the entry requirements, you submit all the documents on time, the turnaround time usually would be around 15 to 20 working days to get an LOA from the university. Okay. For the English language requirement, we are actually asking students to provide a few of the qualifications that we recognize, which is IELTS, TOEFL, IBT, Pearson's test, Duolingo English test. We can also accept GCSE or IGCSE English or IB Diploma English, depending on what your qualification are currently. If you don't have your IELTS, you can still apply first while taking your IELTS and waiting for the result. So once the result is ready, you can submit your qualification or IELTS or TOEFL to university admissions to get your offer letter changed to maybe conditional on IELTS to unconditional offer on a later stage. Okay. Our tuition fee will range from 18,500 to 22,500 per year for bachelor's, and same goes for the master's degree. And of course, I put a range here is because the tuition fee ranging is actually different from individual courses. So each courses will consist of different tuition fee. So it varies depending on the courses that you apply to. MBA is at £23,000. Okay. Scholarship for September this year. Okay. We have a few scholarships available from the university. First of all would be for bachelor's degree and master's students. Okay, this is called the Chancellor's International and EU Scholarship. We have 60 scholarships available worth £5,000 off from the tuition fee discount. So it will be deducted from your tuition fee. Okay. The criteria would be you will need to be classified as an international or overseas tuition fee students paying. Okay. You get a master's degree and a bachelor's degree offer letter from the university before you apply. You would need to have a very good or excellent grades in your current studies before you join us. And the application deadline for this scholarship would be on the 1st of August 2021, this year, to apply for this scholarship. The next scholarship is for master's degree and bachelor's degree student as well. So we have the Chancellor's International and EU Business School Scholarship. So this is applicable for students who are applying for courses with the business school, like for example, management, marketing, human resource management, energy policy, accountancy and finance, banking and finance, risk assessment, investment. Those type of courses, you will be eligible to apply for this scholarship. 20 places, £5,000 each. Okay, so for students who actually apply for business school, these are the scholarship that you might need to consider. Okay, and the criteria will be the same as the previous scholarship, and also the deadline for application will be also 1st of August. Okay, you can also scan on the QR code that's actually on the screen now if you want to check on the website, or you can also contact IBEC after today's presentation to get more information about the scholarship and also how to apply. The third scholarship is the Engineering and Informatics Scholarship. It's also Chancellor's International and EU. So for students who are applying for engineering programs and also computing, you will be eligible for these scholarships. Entry requirements or the criteria for the scholarship will be the same as the previous two scholarships, as I mentioned, and also the deadline will be on the 1st of August. This year. Okay, so for those who are actually applying for bachelor's degree, master's degree for like automotive engineering, computer science, mechanical engineering, electrical and electronic engineering, business information technology, those type of courses will qualify you for this scholarship for the engineering and informative, which is the computing. The fourth scholarship will be the Chancellor's Master Scholarship. Okay, worth £3,000 and 1,100 places available for all master's applicants in other subjects. It can be from business, can be from development studies, it can be from computing, it can be from law, can be from geography, biology, neuroscience. Those type of courses will still be eligible for these scholarships. The scholarship will need the students to have a bachelor's degree first class from a UK university. So you have to at least graduate from any of the UK university in your bachelor's degree to be qualified for these scholarships. You have applied for a master's degree at Sussex and accepted our offer for this year, September, and also submitted an application for this scholarship after you have accepted the offer letter from us. Deadline will be the same, 1st of August for this Chancellor's Master Scholarship. The fifth scholarship will be Sussex MBA scholarship worth £5,000, okay, for students who actually apply and get an offer for MBA at Sussex. You would have an experience in senior management, okay, prior you're applying to the MBA. This is one of the entry requirements criteria and also the scholarship criteria, okay. So the deadline would be 30th of September this year for Sussex MBA scholarship. So this scholarship, you can, if you apply MBA, is only for MBA applicants only. The next scholarship would be for chemistry student, which is the Professor Colin Yearborn Chemistry Scholarship for undergraduate. If you're doing a bachelor's degree, you will get £2,000 scholarships. And if you're doing a master's in chemistry 4 years, you will get £3,000 scholarships. So this is the criteria. You will need to have a very excellent results in your bachelor's, in your pre-university qualifications like your A-levels, IB diploma, and so forth. At least 3 A's in A-levels to be qualified for this scholarship. And this scholarship, you will also need to maintain your grades throughout your degree, which is at least 70% in each year of your degree to be eligible for this scholarship. Otherwise, you would lose the scholarship if your grades drop more than 70%, less than 70% of your current study at the university. So this is a bit tricky scholarship. So it's actually something like an excellent scholarship in chemistry for undergraduate students, which is the bachelor's degree. Last but not least, this is the award. It's not a scholarship, it's an award from the business school. The business school is giving £3,000 award for all the business applicants in master's applications for students who are joining this September. This award can be combined with other scholarships, as I mentioned earlier. Let's say, for example, if you get if you apply for MSc Management at Sussex, you'll be automatically awarded £3,000 in your offer letter when you get the offer letter. And if you manage to secure the maybe the Chancellor's International EU Scholarship, Business School Scholarship, £5,000. So this £5,000 plus £3,000, you will get a total of £8,000 scholarships. Or maybe if you get this Chancellor's Scholarship, £3,000 plus £3,000, you will get in total £6,000 scholarship in total. What I'm trying to say at the end, this scholarship is available, this award is available for business school offer holders, and it's automatically, you don't have to apply. The other scholarship that I mentioned previously, you have to apply for the scholarship. Okay. And other scholarship that is actually available outside of the university would be, for example, the British Travelling Scholarship, the LPDP Scholarship, a MORA Scholarship, World Bank Scholarship, and many more. If you are not sure on the process of applying, on how to go about all the scholarship information, please contact IBEC. They are more happy to advise you and assist you in the terms of advising you and helping you to apply to Sussex and also the scholarship as well. Okay. As I mentioned earlier, also that Chai mentioned earlier, the question and answer will be after Dr. Anker's presentations. From here, I'm going to stop sharing and hand over back to Bu Dian for the next presenter. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pak Kal. Informasi dari Pak Kal tadi mungkin buat teman-teman yang sudah dengar dari awal, beliau sudah informasikan mengenai lokasi University of Sussex, terus kemudian mengenai akomodasi, sampai juga mengenai scholarship-nya. Dan scholarship-nya ini termasuk sangat menarik karena ada banyak pilihan ternyata yang bisa kita ambil, teman-teman. Mulai dari 2.000, 5.000, sampai 8.000 konseling, bahkan termasuk kalau yang kita ambil S1 terus dapat scholarship, kemudian lanjut S2, kita bisa dapat lagi. Nah, untuk mempersingkat waktu, kebetulan Dr. Anke Swite sudah ada di forum. Hello, Dr. Anke. Thank you so much for your time to be here.
Yes.
Yes.
Should I get going?
Yes, I think so, because it's getting the time is getting closer. So please start your sharing about the guidance of dissertation and a bit information about your department is development studies. Well, it's very good.
Yes, good. Can you all see that? Can you see the presentation good?
Yes, we are.
Excellent. Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Anke Schwethey. I'm a senior lecturer or associate professor in international development and anthropology at the University of Sussex. I teach in both departments, Department of International Development and Anthropology at the School of Global Studies. Really happy to be with you this morning and to tell you a bit about our programs, as well as give you some guidance on dissertations. Now, I just wanted to mention, before I came to Sussex about 6 years ago, I lived in New Zealand for 5 years. I taught at the University of Auckland at the Centre for Development Studies there, and I had lots of Indonesian master students, and I really enjoyed working with them. So it's a special pleasure for me to talk to you all today and tell you about what we are doing at Sussex. So as I said, I'm going to just start off by giving you a quick idea of especially international development at Sussex. You probably do know that we are ranked first in the world. We have been ranked first in the world for 4 out of the last 5 years. It's something we are really, really proud of. And I think it's testament to the fact that there is a really large community of development scholars on campus, about 150 people working on development, teaching and researching, as well as doing policy work. We have the Institute for Development Studies on campus. It's a really fantastic community, and there's lots and lots happening across the different schools. As I said, I sit in global studies, which is really the hub of especially undergraduate teaching, and I will tell you a little bit more about our degrees in a second. Our teaching is very much based on research, so everybody who teaches on our programs is research active, which means that our teaching is very current, is always engaging with the most pressing issues of the time. And I think that's really important for international development, to be really kind of up to date. There's lots of seminars and lectures happening all the time, again, because we have so many people working on development across all these different schools. And our teaching is very much focused on giving students skills, including transferable skills, that they can then take in a wide variety of workplaces to address the challenges of the future. Really quickly, I mentioned the School of Global Studies, where I sit. It's made out of 4 departments: international development, international relations, anthropology, and geography. The focus on international development runs across all 4 departments. You might know that international development itself is an interdisciplinary field. It draws on lots of different social sciences, but also kind of economics, business studies, public health, and we recognize that, and our teaching is informed by that. So we bring in specialists from all these different disciplines into our teaching. As you can see here, we are a large program, nearly 1,000 undergraduates from 60 countries across the school, as well as 400 postgraduates from 17 countries. It's an incredibly diverse student body with lots of students, including from the Global South. I also convene a master's for a media practice for social change and development, and there's about 70% of students from the Global South, a lot of them supported by some of the scholarships that were just mentioned earlier. Our faculty is also really international and is coming from around the world. And just really quickly, that last point down here just gives you some idea of our research specialization across the school: gender and sexuality, peace and conflict, human rights and social welfare, markets, labor and finance, environment and climate change, and new engagements with global development. This is the area where I work. I look at the use of new technologies, especially crowdsourcing platforms, and the use of design methods for international development. That's my area of specialization. Here's a list of our courses. I just want to mention that. I'm not going to run through all of them, but you can see here we have 3 different options for undergraduate studies. One is a straight Bachelor of Arts in International Development. The other is a joint honors where you would combine international development with another discipline. So it's kind of 50-50. And the 5 options for joint majors are international relations, geography, anthropology, economics, and sociology. And then lastly, for the undergraduate, it is possible to do international development with a language option. So where students do 75% of their study in international development and then 25 in a language, Arabic, French, Spanish, German. I think there's Italian as well. I think there are about 6 or 7 different languages that can be combined. And then students would be graduating international development with a language. And then here you see the list of all of our MA programs. They are running from human rights to development, migration, food, climate change, of course, and then the media practice for development and social change one, which is the one that I co-convene. It's a really exciting offering and really draws on the expertise of all of our faculty in global studies and beyond. Just really quickly here, wrapping this up, our teaching is really innovative. We are well known for kind of combining critique and creativity in our teaching. And actually, I've just finished a year of sabbatical, writing a book on creative universities that draws a lot on the teaching that's happening in global studies. And it's really, really exciting and cutting edge. But what I want to talk to you about today is, of course, how to prepare a dissertation. And I know that you're looking at all 3 levels, undergraduate, master's, and PhD. So I thought I'd start off with giving you an idea of some of the differences and similarities between those 3. There are obviously 3 quite different academic levels. And I think the biggest difference is that the length of the dissertation. So if you did study at Sussex and you chose to write a dissertation, an independent dissertation at the undergraduate level, it would be 8,000 words. At the master's level, it's between 10,000 and 15,000 words. That depends if students are doing a placement. All of our students have that option. And if they do a placement, then the dissertation gets shorter. Now, the PhD is a whole different dimension. That's obviously 4 to 5 years of study. The dissertation is 80,000 to 100,000 words long. So that's not at an undergraduate, but for PhD, for example, you definitely something contributes to the existing literature, to existing theory, because it's on the basis of that originality that you would be awarded your PhD. And then the last difference is the length of degree. So the undergraduate studies in the UK are 3 years, and you would take an undergraduate dissertation across your final year. So it's kind of 1 year. The master's in the UK is also a 1-year program. I know that some universities are offering research masters that are 2 years, but at Sussex, it's all 1 year. The PhD is around 4 years. But it can also be longer. So again, a big difference in terms of length there, especially between master's and undergraduate and the PhD. But there are also similarities between those 3 options. And the first one is that for all, no matter at what level, you're expected to conduct independent research. It is an independent dissertation, although you are supported by an individual supervisor who gets assigned to you at the beginning of the project. And then we are also running kind of workshops for everybody who's doing this. But the onus is really on you. It is an independent research project, which also means you can pick the topic depending what you are interested in. So there's a lot of flexibility. And that's one of the big advantages, for example, of doing an undergraduate dissertation. The structure of the dissertation is quite similar. And this is what I'm going to focus on for the rest of the talk. And the other thing is that on all 3 levels, you have to engage with the academic literature on your chosen subject. And again, in international development, this is quite interdisciplinary. So you could be looking at anthropology, geography, at economics, potentially at kind of technology studies. It really depends on your subject. Okay, so let's look a little bit more at the structure of a dissertation. As I said, that is quite similar, no matter if you do it at an undergraduate, a master's, or a PhD level. And in each case, the process of kind of thinking about a dissertation, putting a dissertation together, but also kind of writing up is that you start with either an idea, a topic, a hypothesis. Kind of depends on the particular approach you're taking, whether it's more scientific or maybe kind of more narrative, more in kind of the human science direction, or maybe a research question. I particularly like research questions, and I always tell my students it's good to think of your problem or your main idea as a research question, because that means you have to answer it. And then you can kind of go through and make sure, especially in the conclusion, that you have really answered the question you set out with. Now, the thing with research questions is, as I said, you start off with them. They will change in the process as you're reading more, as you're learning more, as you're conducting your primary research. But it is really important to have a research focus question at the beginning, because it guides your journey through the dissertation. And this is also something that you will be working out with your supervisor. This is really the first step. The other thing I always recommend to my students, put it on a sticky note. It shouldn't be very long. It should be 1 or 2 sentences. Put them on a sticky note, and then wherever your workplace is or on your computer, when you work on your dissertation, always have that research question right in front of you, because, as I said, it is what guides the entire dissertation process. So once you have kind of your research question, your research area roughly defined, you move on to engaging with the academic literature. Every dissertation, no matter at what level, needs to have what we call a literature review. Now, it can be a standalone chapter in the final dissertation, or it can be kind of more incorporated, but every dissertation needs to engage with what we call the state of the art. So what is the existing literature in your research area at the moment? Usually we say you look at 3 different areas. Again, you would be working with your supervisor to help you identify those. And really what the literature review does, it shows your knowledge of the academic field. So it involves lots of reading. It involves lots of kind of note-taking. And then it's not just kind of a description. This academic said this and this academic said that, but it's kind of bringing those different literatures in conversation with each other. Now, again, we offer workshops around that. There's lots of support for students who are writing a literature review. And the other thing you need to do is to then use this summary of the academic literature and show how it's relevant for your own research topic. So what are you taking from the literature that is relevant for your dissertation? And also, what is your dissertation contributing to the literature? How is it expanding the literature? Now, as I said, that's not so important at the undergraduate level, but by the time you do a PhD, for those of you who might be thinking about that, you definitely need to kind of produce original knowledge that adds to the existing literature. The other thing that is a part of a literature review is a theoretical framework. Every good dissertation has a theory that provides kind of an analytical frame for their research, and there are lots of frameworks to choose from. I just put some examples here that you might have heard of, kind of a feminist framework. A lot of people who work on issues of gender, sexuality often use a feminist framework. For example, intersectionality is something you might have heard of. A positivist framework, that's for people who might be doing more kind of science-oriented, maybe like a physical geography topic. Critical research, that's people who are doing very kind of maybe research informed by Michel Foucault's work or something. So there are different theoretical frameworks, and they really help make sure that you have the analytical arguments. And again, that's something you would be working out in conversation with your supervisor. What is the most appropriate theoretical framework for your dissertation? So that's the literature review. Moving on, then the next area you would need to consider or write up is a research methodology. And this is really, as I said, every dissertation has an element of independent research, and you need to decide what is the best methodology for you to gather data to answer your research question. Now, often in development studies or in international development, that would involve primary research in the field, so where students go out and they do interviews, they might be doing observations, they might be doing surveys. Now, with COVID last year, all of that was really kind of turned on its head, and students we're getting really creative using more virtual means. So, you know, that would be Zoom interviews or kind of just other ways of getting in touch. But especially at the undergraduate level, some of our students do not do field research, but they do what we call kind of primary desk research, where they decide to take an existing data set and analyze that. And that could be anything from kind of World Bank's or national government reports on a particular topic. It could be an activist campaign or the website of an NGO. It could be a particular data set for people who are doing more work in economics. So students find a particular body of data, really broadly defined, and then they analyze that. Again, that involves kind of particular methods of discourse analysis. So there are really kind of different ways in which a research methodology can go. And again, the research methodology has to fit your research question, because basically it is through those different methods that you generate the data that will then allow you to help answer the research questions. And each dissertation has either a whole chapter or at least a section dedicated to your methodology, where you talk about how you gathered your data and then also how you analyzed your data. And again, there's lots of different methodologies depending on whether you did more qualitative research. I guess the other option I haven't really talked about is quantitative research. Again, that's more for people who are doing stuff with economics or working with data sets. I'm a qualitative researcher. As I said, I'm an anthropologist by background, so I'm more comfortable with qualitative methods. But I know that in international development, economics is a really important area, and there's a lot of work that is being done with data sets. So this is the research. Then you would carry out your research. Again, it differs whether you're doing undergraduate, master's, or PhD. At the PhD, you're definitely expected to go into the field for anywhere between maybe kind of 6 months to a year. At the undergraduate level, some of our students might be trying to, if they do the dissertation over their final year, they might be trying to do some research over Christmas in between the 2 terms, or in the summer before they start their dissertation, their actual dissertation. At the master's level, all of our students are doing their dissertation work in the summer. So they start in September. They're taking modules for September to December, and then December to May. And then they start their dissertation work in May, and that carries all the way through to the end of August, the beginning of September, when the dissertations are due. And if they do field research, they do that kind of early on in June or July, So that gives them enough time to write up their findings. So this research would be conducted either in the field or on the desk, as I said. And then the next step is what comes afterwards. And this is to kind of analyze your data, to present your findings, and to analyze your findings. Now, before you do this, in some dissertations, there is what we call a context section or a context chapter. Let's say, as I said, I had a lot of Indonesian students when I worked in Auckland, and they would always write their dissertation on a topic related to Indonesia. Often they had scholarships from the Indonesian government, and I learned a lot about Indonesia because everybody would have a context chapter where they were kind of presenting me the context, the geographical and the national context about Indonesia. So often these context chapters are really important to situate your research properly. Then moving on to findings and analysis. Depending on the style of your dissertation, there might be 2 different chapters, or they can be merged. But what is really important is to describe what you found in your research, in your data, and then to analyze it. And again, there's lots of different ways in terms of doing this analysis, and our students are supported with workshops. But basically what analysis is that you bring your findings together with the academic literature on the subject. So I mentioned the literature review beforehand. So basically what you do when you've done your research, you look at your findings and you go back to your literature review and say, how do the 2 relate? Is what I found similar to what the literature was saying, what other academics have written about? Is it different? And then you need to find out, why is it different? Is it finding something new that nobody has talked about yet? So kind of where are the similarities and differences? And at Sussex, we have a kind of what we call a critical approach to international development. So you need to critically interrogate your field data. So it's not just kind of a description what you've found, but it is a critical analysis of that information. Let me just, I think I just, oops, what just happened here? I think that's it for my, I know we've got quite a bit of time for question and answers, which I think is not a bad thing. And I will be available until 11 o'clock. But I just wanted to come back to obviously what happens afterwards when students have finished their programs, and students getting careers and employment is a really important part of Sussex. We have kind of a dedicated employability and career center that is supporting students. And students who graduate from international development really work in a wide variety of different areas, different industries, different jobs. I know some of the international students, especially the ones who are supported by scholarships from their governments or by the Chevening Scholarship, they often go back home for a certain period of time because that's part of the scholarship. So students do go internationally, or students who work in the UK often work with development agencies or big charities in London, or with local organizations in Brighton. And that comes back to these transferable skills I talked about early on, that the skills students are getting in our programs, which are obviously independent research skills when they do a dissertation, but also presentation skills, writing skills, communication skills, often teamwork. These are all skills that can be applied in a wide variety of contexts. So careers is something that's kind of really important. And here's just kind of a quote from somebody who graduated from an MA in social development more recently, who ended up working for a Korean NGO in Tanzania and Kenya. And it's just writing back to us. We often get students writing back to us and saying, oh, I'm realizing how much I learned in my studies at Sussex and how helpful that has been in the workplace. So this student was writing, without Sussex, I don't think I would have made it to the position I am in now, which is a junior professional officer at the United Nations. So I think I've talked enough. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen, and then we do have time for questions. I don't know, Cal, how do we want to manage that? Is there some in the chat or?
Thank you so much for the sharing, Dr. Anke. I think we already opened the question in the chat box, but we also open for live counseling for the student, just in case they want to ask you directly about dissertation and the guidance about dissertation. But
That's fine.
Yes, and I think the one thing that really impressed me about your information is about the literature review. So the student really need to do the literature review before they finishing or preparing for submission. Is it right?
Yes, yes, absolutely. So the literature review really comes very early on in the dissertation process, because you can't really analyze your own data if you don't know what other people have written about the topic. So the literature review is really the place where students do lots and lots of readings,
okay.
And you know, is any given topic, and are saying, what have other academics written about this subject, and how does my own research fit into that? So every kind of high quality dissertation has a literature review, and as I said, we are supporting our students at all levels to how to write that, because there's a particular technique to doing it well, and we're having workshops on that.
Okay, good to know. And untuk teman-teman, jika ada yang ingin konseling atau bertanya langsung kepada Dr. Anke, silahkan boleh mulai dibuka untuk mikrofonnya, mungkin bisa langsung tanya. Jika ragu dalam bahasa Inggris, boleh dalam bahasa Indonesia, nanti saya akan bantu untuk menerjemahkan ke dalam bahasa Inggris.
Ya, Mbak, saya mau nanya.
Ya, silakan.
Yeah. I want to introduce myself, doctor. My name is Devi, and I am a Bachelor of Nursing in Indonesia. And right now, I plan to continue my study in the postgraduate in Sussex University. But then I want to ask some questions for you, doctor. First, if later we want to make an apprentice or some fellowship, is it possible to join or how? So in the other side, you said that you are tend to be a qualitative researcher. How about a mixed method in Sussex University? Is it any subject there or not? And third question about the about the magister program. Is there any major that related to nursing program or related that major? Okay, just it. Thank you, doctor.
Thank you for your question. Can somebody just help me? I want to make sure that I understood the 3 questions directed properly. Was the first one around placements?
Yes. About fellowship program and apprentice. At the time we will continue the study there, and it has to be we have an experience, professional experience, just approximately 2 years or minimal how can I say, the period of the professional experience that we have at the time we want to register this program, postgraduate program.
Okay, if I understood you correctly, so we have, especially at the master's level, there is the option of doing a professional placement. A lot of our students are doing that. Students have to find their own placement, but there is a lot of support. And this is often with a professional organization a development organization, and that is happening in the summer. After their, I said, you know, in the summer when students doing dissertation work, they often do what's called a research placement, where they are with an NGO or a charity, and are using that to get professional experiences, but also to conduct research for their dissertation topic. And the second question was about, I don't know if you...
Okay. The second question about the mixed method research program. So
yes.
At the time, we want to continue the study there. We have to choose which one, that qualitative or quantitative, or it's just fine if we want to focus in mixed method research or something.
Yes. So of course it depends on your topic. We have people in global studies, as well as I said, we have faculty at the business school, at the School of Education, who are supporting mixed methods, and it would then be a matter of you writing your research proposal around that, and then you would get a supervisor who can support mixed methods. In global studies, particularly because we have a physical, our geography department has both human and physical geography, and a lot of physical geographies are doing kind of more scientific research. A lot of all of our economics colleagues are doing quantitative research. I have to say most of our students are doing qualitative research, but it is possible to do mixed methods if it's the right proposal, definitely.
Okay, thank you. And the last question. I'm sorry, it's too much maybe for you, doctor. Okay, the third question is, how about the measuring that I could choose at the time I am a Bachelor of Nursing? It is possible for me to just another measure or something.
So you said you have a Bachelor of Nursing now.
Yes.
And you want to know which master's programs you could.
I want to be a Magister of Management actually, but it just depends on the opportunity that I have later.
Yes, so I think it depends. So I think for the undergraduate program that would be fine if you did another BA. For the master's programs, we are looking at, in terms of kind of what social science courses the students have taken during their undergraduate, to kind of give them the necessary skills to do a master's. So with a nursing background, that might be kind of a bit more tricky in some of the theoretical masters, and then you would then the personal statement becomes really important, where you would say why you want to study in this particular area, and you might have some work experience and professional experiences that would then help you kind of bridge from your nursing degree into a master's program in international development.
Okay, so about the nursing degree, maybe which major that I can choose later is related to that nursing science?
To be honest, I don't know. Kind of nothing comes to mind in global. Well, public health is a part of international development, but that is at Sussex. That is run through the medical school. Sussex has its own medical school. So if you want to do something related to nursing, I would recommend you look over there, and they have kind of public health degrees that relate to international development.
Okay, so yeah, thank you, Doctor. That will be very helpful.
Terima kasih, Mbak Desti. Okay, so based on your information, Dr. Angke, so the student or the master student will start their dissertation research or their research methodology and dissertation research since summer, right? From May until August.
Yes. So the way it works at Sussex is a really intense program. So everybody starts in September and does kind of core modules in the first term. So September to December, everybody takes the same modules to get the same kind of basic knowledge related to their topic, their field of study. Then from January, we just started, it's the first week of teaching for us here. From January until March, everybody takes what we call options. And this is they start specializing in their subject, but it's still coursework. In February, students are being asked to submit a dissertation topic. So what they think they want to do their dissertation on, and then they get assigned a supervisor. And then they are slowly starting to work with their supervisor. And by the end of May, they usually have a really good defined dissertation topic. And then, so the end of May, essays are due kind of by the end of May from term 2. And so end of May, June, July, August are 3 months, 3.5 months are dedicated to dissertation research. That can include fieldwork, that can include a placement. So June, July, a bit more flexible. In August, everybody writes their dissertation, and that's master's level now, because they're usually due at the end of August or at the beginning of September. So it's a 12 months, it's a very intense program.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, is there any more question from teman-teman semua? Apakah ada yang ingin bertanya lagi? Saya kembali buka. Yep.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
There's one in the chat as well. Oh, it's already there. Yeah.
Ini dengan Mas siapa, maaf?
I'm sorry, this is very.
Ferry. Okay, yes.
Yes.
Go ahead, Mas.
Okay, let me introduce myself. My name is Ferdinandus. I'm from Papua, and I have a question for. I will finish my graduation. So in here, I will ask about untuk S2-nya.
Oke. Jadi Mas baru akan selesai dari S1 ya? Halo Mas Ferry?
Ya.
Ya, jadi Mas Ferry baru selesai dari S1 saat ini?
Ya, tinggal sekarang sudah dalam proses penyusunan skripsi.
Oke. Oke.
Nanti bulan Maret baru wisuda.
Oke, dari Papua ya. Oke.
Dan pertanyaannya yang untuk S2 untuk program studi ekonomi pembangunan di US ada?
Okay, so Ferry is student from Papua. Actually, is very far too from Jakarta.
Yes.
And he will finish his study in undergraduate on this March, and he is looking for the information about development economic. Is it right, Mas Ferry?
Yes.
Development economics.
Yes.
At the is that at the master's level or?
Master level.
Yes, yes. So within global studies, we do not offer any development economics MAs, but I would recommend to Ferry to look at the business school, because we have a number of colleagues who are development economists who work out of the business school. They are supporting our undergraduate program, but I think the business school would run its own MA level development economics master's programs. I don't know about them, and I don't want to give you any wrong information. So the best thing would be to go on the website of the business school and to look at the list of their master's programs and to see if there's anything related to development economics that looks interesting. I should also say that I mentioned IDS before, the Institute for Development Studies, which is located on campus. They have their own master's program. So you can also, they have maybe about 4, 5, or 6 different programs. They also do something on gender. They do something on kind of, they have one related to business and development. So look at IDS. Oh, I'm getting some feedback here. Look at IDS and what they are offering as well. They also have different master's programs.
Alright, thank you Dr. Anke. Mas Ferry, tadi Dr. Anke informasikan bahwa kebetulan Dr. Anke dari International Development Studies, kalau memang ingin informasi mengenai development ekonomi, nanti dari rekan saya dari IBEC akan kontak ke Mas Ferry juga, atau jika Mas ingin tanya lebih lanjut bisa langsung dengan Mr. Carl Chong dari International Office-nya. Okay.
Yeah. Can I say something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, we do have the MA in Development Economics.
Yes, please.
Yes. The MA Development Economics is actually the joint venture between the business school and IDS. So this program is taught by 2 departments. The program is also ranked the first in the world for development studies because it's involving development area. So as mentioned by Dr. Anke and Budian, you can have a look at the Development Studies Master's Degree on our website and find more information about the modules on the website. And also, if you're not sure, please get in touch with IBEC. They will be definitely happy to help you.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Ka. Is there any more question?
Can I have a question?
Yes, please.
So just a quick question, because I would like to have a postgraduate study. So is it a requirement for a student if they want to apply for a postgraduate degree to have ever done some sort of research? Like, is it a requirement for them to have a published article in international journals, I'm sorry?
No, absolutely not. All our applicants will have a BA, and usually in a field kind of, where they will have written essays, social science related, but it's absolutely not necessary to even have done independent research, and definitely not published. We realize it's very difficult to publish an article. And we give a lot of support to our students, again, through different workshops and to work with your supervisor to get students ready for this independent research, but it's not a requirement for application. We look more at, obviously, grades from the BA, at English language proficiencies, and in some cases at maybe professional experiences related to development, but that's not a requirement either. So definitely no need to have done independent research or published.
Thank you. That's a relief for me.
Good. Well, somebody's asking, is Dr. Anke an anthropologist?
Yes.
Yes, I am an anthropologist.
Okay.
Halo.
Ya, silakan Mas.
Sorry. I want to. I have planning. I want to continue study. Planning about a master program, science. Master program science, environmental chemistry. How about that?
I don't know about that, but I'm kind of seeing in the chat there was just quite a few questions about. Somebody talked about animal behavior. Can hence biology. So I don't know about the science area. Again, I don't want to give you any wrong information because I only know about the master's program that are related to my area. But I'm pretty sure that there are master's programs, and either Cal or people at IBEC will be able to have that information for you.
Oh, yes. Okay. Thank you, Mrs.
You're welcome.
Ya, untuk teman-teman yang ingin menanyakan mengenai subjek science atau engineering ataupun yang di luar International Development Studies, bisa nanti langsung tanya ke Mr. Carl atau ke rekan-rekan saya di IBEC. Nanti kami akan bantu untuk informasinya lebih lanjut lagi. Jadi saat ini kalau untuk Dr. Anke, karena beliau adalah senior lecturer di bidang International Development Studies, kemudian dan antropologi, teman-teman yang ingin menanyakan lebih lanjut mengenai area ini bisa langsung direct ke Dr. Anke. Mungkin ada pertanyaan lain dari teman-teman yang di area sama, bisa langsung bertanya di forum ini.
Yeah, I just want to add something. I just saw Cal wrote it in the chat. We do have an MA Environment Development Policy, which is actually run out of Global Studies. And our new MA in Food also has, is kind of a mix between kind of the social sciences and the natural sciences. I forgot about that. So they're kind of, they're not pure science degrees, but they are a mix of social and natural sciences. So you can look at both of these. The Food MA is actually co-run between Global Studies and IDS. So that's another one that sits across the two different institutions. And then, yes, of course, SPRU, which is the Science Policy Research Unit, which sits in the business school. I just saw Carl posted, they have a Master's of Science in Science and Technology Policy. So there are a number of different science-related MAs, science and development-related MAs being offered across different schools at the university.
I think it's almost the time, and we have a last question. Maybe it's from Siti. She asked about, I'm from physics. Does the department agree with physics? I think the entry requirement is suitable or not for her from physics to IDS.
Physics. Gosh. Are you saying you have a physics background and you want to now do something in development studies? Or do you want to study physics here at Sussex?
I think it's for your department. So I think it's to IDS. Is IDS is agree with physics or acceptable? We'll accept physics.
So I'm not at IDS, I'm in global studies, which is different. Again, with somebody who comes from a natural science background, we would look at the application really carefully. We would look at what modules have they taken during their undergraduate, and would they be able to do a more kind of social science degree, which involves a lot of essay writing, which involves a lot of kind of reading academic texts. So it would depend on the individual application and maybe what other qualifications the students have, because often natural science degrees, they're not the best preparation for doing a degree in international development, which is more social sciences here at Sussex. So again, we would need to kind of look carefully at the individual application and what other qualifications the applicant might have to be able to undertake the master's.
Okay, so I think we will open for the last question related with the dissertation. Maybe from the participants in this forum, ada yang teman-teman ingin tanyakan kah untuk terakhir, pertanyaan terakhir yang berhubungan dengan disertasi, mumpung Dr. Anke masih open question. Saya buka lagi pertanyaan langsungnya. Oke, apakah masih ada yang ingin ditanyakan mengenai disertasinya? Oke, I think there is. Oh, yes. One last question from Mas Yanuar Chandra.
Yeah, my name is Yanuar Chandra. Now I'm a teacher in a private school, and I want to know about the doctoral program in University of Sussex. You know that there are so many problems in Indonesia that should be solved, and then I would to bring that into my discussion in my dissertation. Yeah, in this case, if I want to join, to enroll the University of Sussex, and I should write my dissertation, can I write about the problem in Indonesia, especially in my school, into the dissertation that I want to finish? Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. So our PhD students come in with their own topics. So you would be able to, propose, part of the application is a research proposal, about 5 pages, in which you would kind of describe your topic in some detail. And the acceptance would depend obviously on your kind of your grades, your background, but also whether there are suitable supervisors. Now, I think you mentioned you're a teacher and you might want to do something in the area of education. We work very closely with the School of Education and Social Work, which has an excellent Center for International Education. You might want to look at the faculty over there, because I know they are, so any kind of education-related doctoral research would either be supervised by somebody at this Center for Education, CIE, Center for International Education, or by somebody from Global Studies and somebody from the Education Department. But I just want to say the way it works at Sussex, is the student or the applicant who has their own project. And it is very often that international students are working on issues in their home countries. And then it's dependent on whether we can find supervisors who have the right knowledge and expertise to supervise that, because we only accept students that we know we can supervise properly. So I hope that answers your question.
Okay, thank you. But is there any educational department?
Yes, so just have a look at their website. So I'm getting feedback here. So if you say, Sussex Center for International Education, I'll put it in the chat, and then you can, I can't, and then you can look what they are offering. For some reason I can't post to everybody in the chat. I don't know why, but it's called the Center for International Education. I'll send it to Cal and then he can pass it on. Okay. So that's the best place to start looking.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Anke. Mas Yanuar, I think nanti kita akan kirim link yang tadi Dr. Anke info direct. Jadi nanti kita akan kontak Mas langsung ya, supaya informasi lebih jelasnya.
Siap, Mbak. Terima kasih, Nadia.
Sama-sama.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Well, Dr. Anke, there is an interesting question from the chat. I think this will be the last because you are the anthropologist. And She asked what kind of job that we could possibly enter having anthropology background. So I think this is is your answer.
Yes. So anthropologists, depends. There's a difference whether it's kind of pure anthropology or anthropology in development. But anthropologists are kind of very good at researching. They are often very good at getting jobs in organizations that are related to social issues, human issue, because of their really good knowledge of kind of human cultures, social norms, which is part of the field. I know that in both cases, applied anthropology is a really strong field. So where anthropologists would, for example, also be working in business organizations now and kind of bringing ethnographic research and those skills to companies. So it's a really it's a wide variety. Some of our students do, go on to do masters and PhDs and stay in academia, but a lot of them also go outside of academia and find jobs that are generally related to kind of social issues, human and social issues, and that can obviously be a variety of different organizations.
All right, then. Thank you so much for your information. Well, I think this is the end of our session. Based on the information from Dr. Anke, there are a lot of things we need to prepare in dissertation preparation. Jadi, in conclusion atau di dalam kesimpulan, I will try to explain it in bahasa Indonesia, Dr. Anke.
Okay.
Jadi kesimpulannya di dalam disertasi kita harus sudah mempersiapkan adalah ide, topik, hipotesis, kemudian ada juga pertanyaan-pertanyaan di dalam riset. Dan yang paling penting adalah kita harus melakukan riset independen atau independent research. Kemudian harus memastikan juga metodologi apa yang kita mau ambil. Dan buat teman-teman yang ingin mengambil master di UK, mulai membuat tesis atau disertasi sudah bisa dilakukan sejak dari bulan Februari atau bahkan Mei. Karena pada saat bulan Februari kita sudah memutuskan apa tesisnya atau apa metodologi yang mau diambil, bulan Mei kita sudah mulai bikin perangkatnya, ibaratnya seperti itu. Termasuk juga kalau ada pertanyaan-pertanyaan di dalam riset kita sudah bisa persiapkan dari bulan Mei, karena bulan Agustus kita sudah mulai persiapan untuk submission. Alright, kalau gitu terima kasih atas kehadirannya pada hari ini. Nanti buat yang sudah mengisi absensi hari ini, kita akan kirimkan e-certificate-nya. Dan jika ada yang ingin tanyakan lebih lanjut, silahkan menghubungi IBEC atau kita juga akan kirim informasinya ke teman-teman sekalian. Terima kasih dan boleh mulai meninggalkan forum. Jika ada yang ingin tanyakan, kita akan hubungi. Thank you so much, Mr. Carl. See you soon.
See you. Thank you, Dechai.
Thank you. Bye-bye all.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Dr.
Stay
Anki.
safe, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Dr. Anki.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Leave.